Good morning, children. Welcome to the class. I hope you are writing your question answers. Don't be in a hurry, children. Let us start off climate of India. That is the fourth lesson. And I think earlier also we must have discussed in your previous classes the difference between climate and weather. Climate is something which lasts for a long period, years together, and weather, it might change anytime. Okay, so here in this lesson we are going to learn about the seasons and what causes the change in temperatures, and also different places and their climates, comparison between climate of different places. Either it can be nearby to the poles, or it can be nearby to a desert, or it can be away from the coast or near the coast. Okay, and here we can see that even in 9th class also, I think in 8th class you have discussed about if the place is on a higher elevation or altitude, the temperature will be less. So here when we are talking about climate, we have 4 seasons, children. Okay, that is, we have the summer season, the hot weather, it is called as the hot weather season. The cold weather season is the winter. You have the southwest monsoons, that is the main rainy season, that is from mid-June to mid-September. And also you have the fourth one, which is called as the retreating monsoon or the northeast monsoons. Okay, so here we'll know about the climatic features are being showed on a map, and those are called as climographs. They are also called as climatographs or climographs. Okay, bar graphs and all are given on that. Okay, line graph, bar graph and all. So here, first and foremost thing, I told you that climate is for a long time and weather is for a short period. Okay, and you have atmospheric conditions, or the elements which will affect these are sunshine. You all know sunshine. It will be bright in summer. It will be less during a cloudy period, because the clouds will cover the sunshine. They will not allow the sun's rays to reach the ground. So on a cloudy day we don't have sunshine, we just have the light, that's all. Okay, and then temperature. I told you, as you are going higher up the elevation, the temperature decreases. And in 9th you have learned, as you are going into the Earth's crust, what happens? Temperature increases. We are least bothered about that. We are going to talk about only above the Earth's crust. Okay, and then atmospheric pressure. You all know that atmospheric pressure and winds. Then humidity. What is humidity? The water vapor present in the atmosphere. And then you have clouds and precipitation. We all know that these are a part of the hydrological cycle. Like when temperature is more, heat is more, evaporation will be more, and cloud formation will be more. And when cloud formation is more, automatically it will result in precipitation. Now what is precipitation? Precipitation is nothing but the falling of water from the sky in the form of rain, snow, hailstones, fog, dew, in different forms. That is considered as precipitation. Okay, and so here they have given a definition like, see, climate refers to such conditions over a large area and follows a similar general pattern over 30 or more years. That is for a very long period. And at the same time, weather is for a short period. Understood? See, weather conditions fluctuate very often over a short period of time. Okay, and the pattern of the elements of weather and climate for a place can be shown using pictures called climographs or climatographs. Climatographs means which will give you these are called as climatographs. Of different places it is given, and at the same time they are considered as climatographs or climographs, which give you the information about maximum temperature, minimum temperature and rainfall. Understood? So see, if you take one picture of this climatograph or climograph, what is happening? These lines are maximum and minimum temperatures, and the bar graphs are showing rainfall. So four different places climographs are given here. Now this one is Delhi, New Delhi. Okay, and then its latitudes and longitudes are also given, and at the same time a place Leh. This we are frequently hearing in the news nowadays. Nearby to Ladakh, that is a very very cool place, okay, throughout the year. And then you have Jaipur. You all know Jaipur is known for its hotness, okay, and Chennai, which is on the coast. So 4 different places are given, children: Delhi, Chennai, Jaipur and Leh. Leh is very cold, Jaipur is very hot. Delhi is interior and Chennai is on the coast. So different, even the location of a place also is affected, is affecting the climate of that particular place. Okay, either it can be height, it can be the location of the place, whether it is near the coast, away from the coast, or on the top of a hill, or at the foot of a hill. Okay, so here we will be observing now. They have given different mean and maximum temperatures also given. I want you all to do this, children. Observe this. I will be sending the PDF. You observe this, and there are some questions given at the back. So why and what a table is given, I want you to fill up this table. Is it clear? Because just try to understand. Why? Because I told you the locations are important. Jaipur, very hot. Leh, very cold, and also it is on a height. Delhi, interior, that is away from the coast. So the word related to interior is continental, which is away. Continental means away from the oceans or seas, and Chennai is on the coast. Okay, so based on that, you try to answer these questions. Okay, and then differences also, how to identify also is given, like maximum and minimum. Maximum, mean maximum temperature and mean minimum temperatures are given. Minimum is with green and maximum is with red. Mean means you all know, yes or no? Average. Now your factors influencing climate and weather. They have given you the factors that affect climate are called climatic controls. Now definitely and very frequently the question is given, like what are the climatic controls, or explain the climatic controls, or describe the various climatic controls. There are 4 climatic controls, children. The first one is latitude, second one is land-water relationship, third one is relief, and the fourth one is upper air circulation. Now what is the latitude? I already told you all earlier also, as we are moving away from the equator, the temperature reduces, the climate becomes cool. As you are moving towards the equator, away from the poles, it will become hotter. It is in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, what is happening? As you are moving towards the equator, it becomes hot, and as you are going down, that is north and south. If in the southern hemisphere, if you are moving towards north, it will be hotter. In the northern hemisphere, if you are moving towards south, it will be hotter. Understood? So like that, based on these, you will have latitude. You all know the number of latitude increases as you are going towards the poles, and at the same time the size of the latitude decreases as you are going towards the poles. And I told you that we have 3 different zones. Climatic zones are the heat zones. Above and below the equator, between 23.5 degrees north and between 23.5 degrees south, we have torrid zone, that is very very hot. That is between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. And then between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, you have the North Temperate Zone, that is in the northern hemisphere. Understood? And then same thing if you come towards the southern hemisphere, that is south of Tropic of Capricorn, and between the Antarctic Circle, you have South Temperate Zone. Okay? And towards the poles, between the Arctic Circle and North Pole, between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole, you have Frigid Zone, that is very very cool, because the sun's rays will fall slantly. Near the equator, it directly falls on the equator. Understood? So the distance between the sun's rays and the earth will be less, and at the poles, the distance for the sun's rays to travel will be more. So the severity of the heat will be less. And the other day before yesterday, June 21st, the Tropic of Cancer, that is the sun's rays fall directly on Tropic of Cancer, children, on June 21st. So we have a longer day. Understood? When you compare it other days, 21st June will be a longer day. That is, the daytime will be more, night will be less. And at the same time, on December 22nd, the sun's rays fall on Tropic of Capricorn. So what will happen? Night will be more, day will be less. Shorter day and longer night. Understood? And again, you have the sun's rays falling directly on the equator on March 21st and September 23rd. So these 2 days we have equal days and equal nights. Remember, children. Okay, so these are called as equinoxes. Understood? They are called as equinoxes. Understood? So here, regarding the latitude, I already told you all, as you are moving away from the equator, it will be cool. You are moving, coming towards the equator, it will be hot. Understood? Then, now, see tropical as those close to the equator. I told you 3 regions: tropical, polar and temperate. Temperate is between and remember, children, tropical is very hot, temperate is neither cool neither hot, and frigid is cool, children. Then the second one is, you can underline all these when you get your textbooks, children. I will be telling you all what you have to underline and all. And at the same time, you have given a tropical belt. What is the word called tropical belt? Tropical belt means between the, see here it is given. Tropical means, clearly I think you can observe, this is Tropic of Cancer and this is Tropic of Capricorn. So between these two is called as tropical belt. So it is called as tropical belt. Okay, and they have given you. See, children, like the region has higher average of temperature than the northern parts. The tropical belt is closer to the equator. Okay, and then they have given you that the part that is to the south of Tropic of Cancer lies in the tropical zone, and north part of Capricorn is lies in the tropical zone. Okay, and now you have land-water relationship. Now what is land-water relationship? Land-water relationship means, see, on the coast it will be very, very hot, and in summer if you go to a coastal area, you will be having so much of sweat and you will find saltness on your bodies. That is because the water gets evaporated from the seas and oceans more. Okay, evaporation takes place more on the water bodies. So what happens? The water gets evaporated and the salt remains. Understood? Sometimes when people do hard work, even on their clothes also you have the white patches and all. That is nothing but the salt which is being brought out from the body. Okay, so what happens is this water gets evaporated and the salt remains. That is how salt also is being prepared in the salt pans. The sea water or ocean water is being brought in, has kept in these salt pans, and the water evaporates, salt remains. Okay, so here when you see they have just given you like this in a picture, children. See, so and one more thing here, you have to understand one thing is, water gets cooled slowly, and at the same time it gets hot also very slowly. But land is not like that. It gets heated up fast and slows down fast. That is, cools down fast. Why? Because when you stay near the coastal area, supposing throughout the day temperature will be less, children. Temperature will be less as compared to Hyderabad. But due to the evaporation, what happens is they have lot of sweat, children. And when evaporation is more, humidity will be more. And due to that humidity, you have this stickiness on your body on the coast. Okay, so what happens when this is there? By evening, when you go to the seashore, you'll have cool breezes coming from the sea. What happens? The air which is there on the land, which is hot, it goes on to the sea. It changes, and cool breezes are coming on to the land. Okay, so land and sea breezes. Hot breezes are changed into cool breezes, and you have cool air. By evening, it gets cooled in the coastal areas. Whereas for us in Hyderabad, if you compare, even at night 10 also, we'll have that heat, and even the air which is coming also will be very hot. And throughout the night, it gets cooled. And again, early morning, it will be cool. And as the day starts, as the sun rises, what happens? Again it starts getting heated up, and by afternoon what will happen? We will not be able to bear the heat after 2 o'clock, because the earth until then, which has the land which has absorbed the heat, starts reflecting back. Understood? So this is the land water relationship, children. And the third one you have is relief. Relief means we all know mountains, plains, plateaus and all. So the relief features on which a place is located also affects the climate. Like see, we have in summer, we have some hill resorts. Like people can't bear the heat, so for a holiday they want to go to either Shimla, Ooty or whatever it is. Why? Because they are on the top of the hills. So I told you, as the elevation or as the height increases, or altitude from the sea level, whatever height is increasing, that is called as altitude. And as the altitude is increasing, temperature will be decreasing. That is why people feel like going to the hill resorts. Okay, so because they feel that it will be cooler there. Understood? So that is relief features, and here they have given you examples of Shimla and Udakamandalam or Kodaikanal and all. So Udakamandalam is nothing but commonly called Ooty, children. So Ooty is also called as Udakamandalam, and it is present in the Nilgiri hills. When I say Nilgiri hills, I expect you children to recollect the Nilgiri hills in the map. Okay, and then you have upper atmospheric circulation. Upper atmospheric circulation means a common thing here you have to remember is hot air is lighter than the normal air. So the hot air blows up, creating a vacuum there, and the normal air fills it up. Okay, so here you have to know there is one word, like they have given you the description. I'll just read out, you listen children. You all have subtropical high pressure and subtropical low pressure belts. High pressure belts will be towards the equator, and low pressure will be towards the poles and all. You had a picture in your textbook also last year. So here they blow towards the equatorial sea. In the northern hemisphere, subtropical high pressure belts give rise to permanent winds, and these blow towards the equatorial low pressure belt by reflecting towards the west are called trade winds. The German way trade means track and stands for blowing steadily in the same direction and in a constant course, means a fixed course. And India lies in the belt of dry northeast trade winds, because most of our rainfall we receive from southwest monsoons. And the retreating of monsoons, that is from the northeast part of India, is called as retreating monsoons. Okay, so here they have given you the upper air currents. Children, horizontally moving air is called, normally the horizontally moving wind is called air, and the vertical movement of air is called air current. Understood? The vertical movement of air is called air current. So here they are giving you the climate of India is also affected by the movement of upper air currents called jet streams. So this you will be expecting for 1 mark questions also. You can underline and make it a point. Okay, and then an easterly jet stream develops at about 25 degrees north latitude, and a jet stream causes the neighboring atmosphere to cool. Okay, so this is not important children that much, but main thing, upper atmospheric circulation means you know you have the jet streams, so you need to mention about it. And then later, now we are going to have about seasons, and there are some questions in the boxes. Later on, after you get your textbooks, I want you to answer these. Are Shimla and Delhi located on very different latitudes? Check your atlas. Is Shimla cooler than Delhi during summer? Both of them lie on the same longitude, children. Okay, but what happens is Shimla is at a higher place, so it is cooler. Okay, and then why does Darjeeling have pleasant weather as compared to Kolkata? Kolkata is near to the coast. Okay, and Darjeeling is on the hills. It will be cooler place. Okay, and now when we are talking about seasons, we have 4 different seasons as per the textbook. That is, the hot weather season is summer, cold weather season is winter. We have the southwest monsoons and the retreating monsoons. And here some sort of words are given as western disturbances. Okay, see, like winter is given, and you all know we have winter from almost October to, and maybe from mid-October to Feb. but due to the global warming actual seasons we are not having, isn't it? So like that. But as per your textbook, we have Mediterranean Sea. Nearby from the Mediterranean Sea you have western disturbances, children. So that is important again. So what are western disturbances means? During winter the weather is generally pleasant with clear sky, low humidity and cool breeze. Cyclone depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea are called western disturbances. Okay, so what are western disturbances? Cyclone depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea, called western disturbances, cause low to moderate rainfall over northern India. Okay, and this rainfall is a boon to wheat crop, which is generally cultivated in Rabi season. We all know, in agriculture lesson also we have learnt last year, that there are 3 crop seasons. Normal climatic seasons are different and crop seasons are different, children, because crop seasons we have 3. That is, we have the monsoon crop, that is the Kharif season. You have the winter crop, that is Rabi, and you have summer, that is Zaid. Okay, so you all know that because of the retreating monsoons you have rainfall to Mumbai and Chennai, that is Tamil Nadu, because Mumbai will be on the outside part of western Ghats, so it doesn't have rainfall during the southwest monsoons. Is it clear? This is about the winter season they have given. Not much is given, children, so need not worry about these. And some degrees and all are given, which is the highest and lowest. So, and one more thing, during summer they are giving. Summer we all know, we have April, May and June are summers. March, April, May are some summer months which are very hot. The climographs will give you an idea when we have summer. And at the same time the northern plain experiences dry and hot winds called Lu. For bits you may get this. Okay, and nothing else important about it. And there is a mentioning about pre-monsoon showers, children. Pre-monsoon showers means in summer we have convectional rainfall. So all of a sudden we have rainfall, and sometimes you all know the trees are being damaged. Now in summer we get mangoes and all, so the mangoes will be dropping down. In the month of Feb and all we'll have rainfall sometimes. All of a sudden we'll have rainfall, and so sometimes they'll be telling it causes a lot of damage to the mango crop. Okay, and they are also called as mango showers in Telangana. Okay, and then advancing monsoons. I told you advancing monsoons are like word from Mausam we got the monsoons. It is being taken from an Arab word Mausam. Okay, that is weather. And regarding this we will have a discussion tomorrow, children. For now we will stop, and I hope you are writing the question answers. Okay, tomorrow we will finish off with the advancing monsoons and retreating monsoons. And one more thing is, you have the traditional seasons, children. Okay, we have the traditional 6 seasons. Ante in India particularly we have seasons. The traditional seasons are nothing but the Rutulu or Rutulu antam kada. So that, and we just read about it. Then advancing monsoons and retreating monsoons, then global warming and climatic change is there. With that we will be finishing off this lesson. Okay, so for today I will be giving you, sending the PDF. You will just listen carefully and read the lesson. And there is no harm after listening. Once again you go through the pages and listen to it, so that you will get a clear idea about the lesson. Okay children, thank you.